Hey guys, and welcome to a Prapor task guide, The Punisher Part 1. For this task, we're going to need to kill 15 scavs on Shoreline whilst using an AKM series weapon. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you find this guide useful. So for this task, it does need to be either one of these AKM series gun, which is the AKM, the AKMN, the AKMS, or the AKMSN. The N basically just stands for the dovetail mount at the back here. Now, one thing I would recommend that you do is actually use one of these AKMN's variants, so it has the dovetail. So either one of these two, because you can basically mod them out surprisingly cheap. So I actually run this one right here quite commonly. What I do is I like to just whack a PSO, cheap and cheerful, grab myself a wonderful little pistol grip that's again cheap, and then grab myself one of these, which is the AKCAA RS47 handguard. I'd always recommend that you run a silencer, and the PBS is one of the cheapest silencers that you can get for the 7.62 variants. And then when it comes to the grip, just grab yourself the UVG cheap and cheerful. And then right here, you can just grab yourself a laser. I prefer the blue laser personally. So this is actually how I run my builds, but with this build, you can always add yourself the 45-degree mount and then grab yourself any sight that you want. I personally prefer to go with the Burris Furfire Weaver, and then right there, in my opinion, this is the cleanest build for me because you have the long range and the close range. Of course, you can do this with the AKMN as well, so this is another build that you can do. Well, if it was a standard one like this, I could show you a cheap and cheerful little build. You do take off the front sight, and then when it comes to the dust cover, grab the bastion just like so, and then the sight. So when it comes to the sights, this sight right here is surprisingly cheap if you buy it from the flea market. So as you can see, it's 37k, but if we get rid of the traders, normally the ACOGs are stupidly cheap, and they are really decent range sights in my opinion. Again, go with the PBS. I find that it is actually the cheapest on the flea market. And then you got the RS47, and again, just go with the normal route of actually just modding the gun out. Of course, everything is personal preference when it comes to building these guns. I don't actually run front sights. I've been training myself to do the hip fires. So the way that I actually run this is basically just like so, but nice and easy. Don't forget the rubber butt pad. It surprisingly adds a lot of recoil reduction, ergonomic boost, and then a simple little pistol grip. And then boom, this is the build. And as you can see right here, I know it's going to seem expensive, but if you were to take off the silencer, it does drop it down a decent amount as well. I mean, the AKCAA right there is 13k, so it does add a little bit on, but overall it is, in my opinion, quite cheap for quite a decent silencer build, just like so. So here on the map in front of you is showing you all of the spawns for Shoreline. As you can see, there are a lot more to the left hand side of the map than there is to the right hand side, but we are going to start over at the road to customs side. Whatever side you spawn on, 9 times out of 10 there won't actually be scavs close by, so you are going to have to make your way from one location to the other. Now, there are a few different routes you can take, but I'm just going to mainly talk about the scav spawns and basically whereabouts they are. So the road to customs area, they mainly walk on the grassy wooden section on the right hand side of the road, the eastern part of the road, where you do have the water. They do walk from the top of the road to customs all the way down to the road at the rail bridge extract, the new extract that they added down by the tower. They can also go inside all of them. Now, the very bottom of the map, the southeastern part of the map, where you do have the construction yard with the giant crane. Now, this is actually a pretty decent amount of scav spawns. They do spawn in that area, as well as they do cross the road and follow the road all the way up and down the entire blue fence area. You can get around about 5 to 6 scavs here. Now, over by the radar dome, which is the weather station, you can get around about 4 to 5 scavs. They do normally patrol inside the area. They don't really go around the outside, and if they do, it's mainly by the main road. Continuing that road, we're going to head over to the power plant. Now, the power plant does have sniper scavs at the very top. There can be 2 of them that spawn, so that might be an easy kill for you. And you can get around about 3 to 4 scavs down below. And they do actually go over the bridge where you have the actual electric towers are. Continuing down south, we're going to head down to the gas station and the pier. Now, this is a pretty juicy amount of scavs. If you do spawn at the road to customs area, I would actually recommend if you head down here first, then make your way up into the resort. But for down here, they do spawn by the gas station, as well as patrol the road down by the ocean, as well as all the way down to the pier. And senator can spawn at the pier, so make sure you carry yourself a good decent range. Continuing along the road, you do have the Scav Island. Now, this one is actually really easy to snipe onto. It is around about 150 meters if you do want some zeroing, and they do mainly stand out in the open. There is a little hut that they can walk into, but normally get around about 4 to 5 scavs at this location. Now, at the tunnel and the ruin road extra, this is a pretty decent spot. You can get around about 3 to 5 scavs here, and they do walk up onto the hill, and they can sometimes sit in the bushes, just like wonderful extract campers. Now, heading up the road again into the town, there isn't actually, I haven't had much luck with scavs spawning here, but they do spawn here, and they can get around about 2 to 3 scavs. Now, if you go to your east and head over to the cottage, this is somewhere where senator can spawn. You can get around about 3 to 4 scavs again that walk in between both of the cottages, but of course if senator's there, they can actually go out into the construction site opposite the cottage on the eastern part of the road. Now, continuing up towards the resort, you do have a wonderful bus station, or a little like depot area where you got a few buses and some cars. You can get around about 3 to 4 scavs. Now, when it comes to the main resort, you can get around about 5 to 6 scavs that do wander west wing, room, east wing, as well as the admin. They do walk along the corridors. It's quite rare that you see them on the second floor, but if you are by 301, they can actually path all the way up to 301. As well as at admin, they can walk out the back of admin by the tennis courts, as well as on the other side at the back of east wing, they can walk out by the children's play area. Continuing out the back of the resort, you do have the good old extract that's now disappeared, the rock extract, and you can get 2 sniper scavs that spawn on top of the sniper rock up there, as well as a few scavs dotted around near the bunker. Now, for the final location, and these scavs are absolutely cracked, if you head west, you are going to reach this rock, which is just basically in between the bunker area and the swamp area. In fact, it's quite close to the swamp area. You can get around about 3 to 5 scavs, but do bear in mind that they can see through the grass where we can't. So good luck. I have been one tapped by a scav here that had M61 when I finished a giant loot run on resort, so you do just need to watch yourself. If you are struggling with this task, or just in general wanting to find people to play with, head over to piranha.tv/discord. We do have a decently large looking for group community, as well as a Sherpa system, so if you just need a bit more help than normal, then we are there to help you. Hopefully you guys found this guide useful. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, or possibly consider joining the channel membership where you can unlock early videos as well as a few custom rewards. Don't forget to check out Piranha.tv as well. That's a one-stop shop for all of your guides, tasks, keys, all those kind of things in one location. Hopefully you guys found this guide useful, and I'll see you in the next video. And a big thank you to all of my Patreons supporting me over on patreon.com/PiranhaTV. And a huge thank you to J Dam, Freddy and Beansy. Without this kind of support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do.